Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Good afternoon, WICR, and welcome back to Roommate Rivalry. Kevin Walsh and Joe Petey, and today we have the honor of having the preseason MAC Player of the Year, David Laury here. Dave, thank you for stopping by.
No problem, guys. No problem. Glad to be here.
Now, Dave, I mentioned, the preseason MAC Player of the Year. They released today. You were named to the first team All-MAC, and I was kind of curious, does an award like that with the whole preseason thing, does that add any pressure to you?
Nah, not at all. I said the same thing when they gave me the preseason Player of the Year award. It's no pressure. They could have, just the same gave the award to AJ English for the preseason Player of the Year. So it really doesn't mean anything as far as looking at the body of work that, myself and the rest of those guys on that list. It's just, a reminder that we've been playing well this season. That's pretty much all it is.
And would you use something like that to kind of motivate you though? Because they say you're the preseason player. Do you say, you know what? Let me prove them that that's what I am because I deserve this recognition.
I don't think that had any motivation towards the season, but I will say I was more motivated by last year. Just my lack of performance. It just wasn't really good. I think I averaged 14-8, and I just wasn't satisfied with the way I was playing, and I just wanted to change that perception and role. So that's what I did.
And I mean, you definitely did change things around a lot. You're having an amazing season, named to the all-power forward list of first ever Karl Malone Award. And I think your role was big in what you guys have done this year. A very impressive season, only losing 3 MAC games, 20+ wins again. I want to first, though, the big rival everyone talks about, Manhattan. How did it feel to sweep them, especially considering the unfortunate events that happened with the MAC championship last year? Was there added emotion? Just how did you guys feel about those matchups?
I mean, we were ecstatic to sweep those guys, because if you think about it, every time we play them, it's always a close game. We always win by 3, lose by 3. So it's always a close game, and there are rivals, and every time we come to play each other, the energy's electric, the whole everything, the stage is set, and we're just happy to sweep those guys.
And also, the last game of the season maybe didn't go as you guys wanted. There was perhaps some shaky officiating, but we take the loss to St. Peter's, and there was a lot of tension, you could say, between the two teams with AJ and Desi's incident. But what do you think maybe went wrong for you guys going into that game?
Well, you never want to blame officiating, so we're just not even going to touch that subject. But we just didn't come out. I want to say we didn't come out hungry enough to win that game. And then every time we fought back to bring it within 4 or 5 points, we gave up a crucial basket. So that probably hurt us the most. We're very furious with ourselves for letting that one slip away and letting the record slip away of the most conference wins, which would have been 18-2. And we're just focused on going into the tournament the best way possible, as prepared as we can be.
Do you think though that loss might have actually been the best case possible to ignite the fire?
Not the best case possible, but it definitely could be a great loss. It could end up being a great loss because anytime you lose and the tournament's coming up, you kind of want to, if anything, get that loss out the way, kind of recalibrate, refocus, and get ready for those 3 games.
You guys want to ask questions?
I just wanted to ask, how's your, the last ride been, your senior year?
Honestly, for the most part, man, it's been excellent. I really enjoyed it. I came out and did some things that I kind of expected for myself a couple years back. I kept my confidence for the whole year as opposed to, 3 or 4 game stretch. And I was just I was excited. I think it was a stretch during the season, 14 games. They told me I was averaging 24 and close to 10. So I was just happy that I was able to, remain focused and remain confident in myself to do the things that I always expected myself to do.
I have a question. Like since your freshman year, what part of your gameplay do you think like you improved in?
Definitely, I would have to say like around the basket. Even though like I've been missing a ton of chippies these last 2 games, I got to get it together. But I would have to say around the basket. Things like baby hooks, and just with my back to the basket. Those things like I've gotten better. I'm still not.
Moves and stuff?
Yeah, post moves. I'm still not really too good with that stuff. But I would have to say that because prior to coming to college, like I was always on the wing. I rarely like played inside. I would only post up whenever a smaller guy was DMing me. So I rarely ever was inside. Then when I got to college, my freshman year, I played a lot of both. And then sophomore year, when I got here, I played a lot inside. And then junior year, I played a lot inside. And then this year, transitioning back to being everywhere on the court, it was kind of fun for me.
That's good. One more to add to that. Do you think you like progressed in your 3-point shooting? Because I see like you've been shooting a lot of threes lately.
I mean, I would say I definitely progressed. This summer I put a lot of work into it, so you can say I progressed. But I always was a decent shooter, and I could always make that shot, but I never had the confidence to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't have the confidence to take it once I got to college. Like in high school, anybody who see me play in high school, prep school, or even junior college will tell you that I was shooting threes. But when I got here, the game was faster. I had took two years off basically, and trying to readjust to the game pace, and then trying to play to my strengths, and knowing that like if I shot a three, I don't think coach would have been too happy with me at that time. But he's seen all the work I put in the summer. We have shooting tests that are required to ensure we're allowed to shoot threes in the game. You got to make 35 out of 50. It's all moving full speed in like 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and you got to make 35 out of 55 times to get a license to shoot threes for our team.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I
mean,
like,
you did it.
Yeah. So like he right then and there I gained trust and confidence from him, and he see me come into the gym and putting extra work in. So
keep it up.
once he told me to start shooting, I felt comfortable and started shooting.
Pete, I just want to cut you off because I have to ask. Normally when you see a big man, as someone like yourself, not that you're 7 foot or everything, but you're labeled as a big man and you're so, crafty around the basket. But you are so good at dribbling. I just want to ask, what is your go-to move when you're trying to beat a guy off the dribble?
It all depends. When I'm trying to beat a big off the dribble, it's like usually always going to be a curl cross, because they're either going to completely go for the curl, and then when I cross, I'm going to have a whole lane or have them enough to shield them with my right shoulder to finish with my left, or they're going to semi-go for the move and more so go for the cross after. So they might go for it, then the cross just kind of leave them stunned. But that's probably my best move going against a big, outside of just running right bottom. And a guard, I would have to say, like, I usually curl, in and out. Because after that, I just react. I probably go behind the back because the guards are so quick that, like, if I curl and I take that step and they beat me, I could either spin right away or go behind the back. That would be the better answer is to spin, because I could shield my body. Shield the ball. Yeah, shield the ball with my body. So probably in and out spin or in and out behind the back if I'm going against the guard. But I never want to put the ball in front of them because of their hands. Yeah. So but bigs curl cross works almost every time. And if you don't go for the curl, then you're just going to give up a layup or body position to get an and one, something like that.
So entering the MAC tournament, what do you think is the X factor in winning it?
Cohesiveness. Everybody just being cohesive on offense and on defense, kind of playing as one. I know it's cliche, but probably that's probably going to be the X factor. I wouldn't say it's one particular player. I mean, if I had to say it's a particular player, it's going to be Isaiah Williams, because he affects the game defensively with his energy and offensively with his energy, and he can get us up in a matter of seconds. But besides that, it's got to be playing together, because we have so many different pieces that can score and that can contribute. Everybody has to accept their roles basically, and just play together, play unselfish. It's not like you're playing for anything. I don't think anyone should be worried about scoring or who leads the scoring. the 7th, 8th man off the bench could lead us all 3 games in scoring, and nobody should care. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who's watching, because at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to get to the NCAA tournament. And when you do that, like, you're so much harder to beat. You know what I mean? When you're playing unselfish, but that's probably the main thing, just playing together.
Thank you. Yeah, makes sense.
Now, you mentioned Ak, and I'm curious because last year, such an electric player, you know, especially the game Atman had. I think
Without a doubt.
Like 9 blocks or something like
Without a
that.
doubt.
Do you think the injury has maybe messed with his mental or physical? Like, do you feel he's at 100%, or do you feel like mentally he's thinking about it?
I don't think that. I mean, anytime you have an injury, you know, you tend to think about certain things. But as far as him not being 100%, this is a second game back. He's literally had limited practice. Like, I want to say he only before the Manhattan game he practiced 1 full practice. So his foot sore, and even when Durant came back, he has the same injury as Durant. You know, the 5th metatarsal, the Jones fracture. And Durant came back, and he would come back and play a game or 2, and then sit 2 games. Like, so the injury is really nagging, and it's really sore. So for him to just play through it, like, you know, I commend him a lot on that. But as far as him not be, I mean, you seen he came back in the Manhattan game. I think he had a crazy block.
Oh, he did.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my! And ducked
Kelvin
from
the first one, and then
Oh, that you talking about that one? I'm
Back
talking about when he
to
chased
back
Emmy
block.
down and he blocked it and ducked from the rim, like backwards. He was facing the it was crazy.
Multiple blocks in that game.
Yeah, it was crazy. See, like that type of stuff, like the energy, like Emmy clearly had the lane on the defender. He ran from the half court, cut him off. His angles are crazy. You don't ever know when he's jumping. Like, he literally jumped from about the middle of the paint and blocked it and ended up on the left corner of the backboard, but like ducking his back to move out the way. Like, you know what I mean? It's just he's just great. And I know that once he gets more in the flow, like this week we have 4 practices starting from tomorrow up until we got 4 practices starting to tomorrow up until Friday. I believe we leave Thursday, but we might practice up there on that Friday. But we have 4 practices to get ready, and I think that he'll be fine. As long as he don't try to like overdo it in practice, he'll be fine.
You mentioned athleticism stuff. I gotta just ask Kelvin. Probably the best play as far as like a sportsman and caliber play I've seen since I've been here. What does his athleticism and energy do for the team?
I mean, it does a ton, especially when he's willing to, you know, take on that role, and when he's willing to take on that role and just brings the energy and not try to worry about so many other things on the court for us. Like I said a few minutes ago about accepting roles, and Kelvin. See, I know Kelvin personally, him and Isaiah Ock from back home, and Kelvin can do so much on the basketball floor. Shooting is where he struggles, but besides that, Kelvin can really pass the ball. Kelvin can really handle the ball. Kelvin is an amazing on-ball defender. But, you know, when you're lacking in confidence, sometimes you aren't able to show all the things that you can do. And sometimes a team doesn't need you to show all those things that you can do. And I think if he just assumes the role of, you know, bringing that energy and being that athletic guy and playing strong offensively and defensively, he'll help us tremendously, and he can be a big part of the reason why we get to the tournament.
I agree with you. I think, like you said, everyone has a role on this team, and if everyone does their role, does their job, and works together, like even like you said, like Kelvin lacks shooting ability. Like, he can shoot, but he's not the best on the team when it comes to that. But he does other things to make the team like get up, like everyone play together like great, and I think that's great. Like if that continues, we can go far in this championship.
Yeah, I do believe so. You know, you got to think about it like this. Look at Kyrie Irving. I mean, he went from being a number 1 option. He's a great, even on the USA team, it's like he's a great number 1 scoring option. He can really, really, really score the ball. But when you're on the court on a team with the best player in the world, what are you going to do? You're going to defer. You have to.
Yeah, you have to like.
You know what I mean? So no matter, like, Kelvin does a lot of things that he really doesn't get a chance to show, but when other guys can score easier than you, or you know what I mean, or more efficient, then you have to, you know, be willing to help in other ways. That's what makes great basketball teams like the Spurs. That's what make, you know what I mean?
Everyone has a role and everyone does it.
Everyone does their role. Exactly. I'm sure, like, you know, Danny Green wants to probably show he could take people off the dribble. You know what I mean? But if we don't need you to do that, you see guys when they're traded to different teams, you be like, man, I didn't know he could do that. Man, I didn't know he could do this. But he always could do it. It's just that's not what the team needed. So, but Kelvin just has to, keep playing the way he's been playing. He's been playing great. He's been playing great. I'm very proud of him.
Now I gotta ask about the little man, but the big heart, the freshman. If he doesn't get freshman of the year, that's ridiculous as far as the mat goes. He's been amazing, and I give him credit. We went to that scrimmage, and I was kind of blown away by Ibn because I liked his ball handling. But Aaron was like, I'm telling you, I can just see it in that kid. He's gonna be really special. He was right. He's really special.
No. He's really special. Nah, that kid, he's great, man. He's a pleasure because, he takes heed and he listens to, the older guys, and he wants advice, and he doesn't try to do things outside of his realm as far as, like, he doesn't think that, oh, I'm the best player on this team or things like that. Like, he has a great head on his shoulders, and it's just great. And the funny thing is, like, if he doesn't get Rookie of the Year, it would be blasphemy. He's the only I think freshman on either teams from first team, second team, or third team. He made second team. I think he was the first selection on the second team. So you could have argued him for the first team. You really could have argued, but they very seldomly want to put three players from one team. And maybe if we would have won versus St. Peter's, they would have done that. You know,
blamed them for it. You can't say we don't deserve it.
Exactly, and you got to think about it. They put Justin Robinson up there. Justin Robinson is a great player. He's been detrimental to his team's success this year. But if you look at, Sed has been a big key to our success too. He's averaging more points than Justin. Just a rebound. Just an assist less. So it's like, and his numbers are way better,
right,
as far as percentage and efficiency. So, I wouldn't be able to argue it, but. A lot of times with these things is seniority, and rightfully so. You know what I mean?
Right.
Rightfully so. Justin Robinson has been in this league this is his second year now, and he's the biggest reason his team has turned around from I want to say 8-9 slot to getting up to the 4th seed. So he's the biggest reason. So, I can't argue with that, but you can definitely make your case and argument for Cedric being on the first team. He is amazing. If you like what he does in the game, you should see what he does in practice.
Cluse has mentioned some of his shooting performances. You mentioned Monmouth, though, and specifically Justin Robinson. His best career games have come against us. And, we're 1, they're 4. That's a likely matchup. What do you guys think the key is to, not only beating them, but, shutting him down, kind of attacking them at their core, which he seems to be?
Personally, I think we tend to get stretched out on defense too early in games. I think that we chase guys around, including myself, who haven't proven that they can shoot consistently, or even for the game. Like, if a guy's in a dead-eye shooter in the scouting report, why, when the ball's on the other side of the court, we're within 1 or 2 feet of him? Mm-hmm. We should be in the paint, splitting the court. But we always get caught up. Once the balls start moving, we're always out of position, and that's something we're going to work on a lot this week, positional defense, because we chase guys around too much. You know what I mean? What we have to do with him is, obviously harass the ball. I think Ibn Muhammad will do a great job of that. He did a great job versus St. Peter's, unfortunately in a loss. But just harass the ball, and play solid. A lot of times we're so out of position, like we're so eager to try to get a steal that we end up, on a guy's hip, and he's running down the lane full speed already. And I just think that we have to play Justin solid. He's a great player. Off the ball screens, I have to do a better job riding. Jelani have to do a better job of meeting him at the point of the screen and not allowing him to turn his shoulder. Once he does that, he gets us in a ton of trouble. Right. And we have to help more inside the paint and just try to keep him in front of us, man. He's a great player, though. But that's the biggest thing.
It's definitely gonna be an interesting MAC tournament. Well, let's, I know you did the radio show with Johnny for a little bit. Let your inner analyst come out. I think right now the NBA is spoiled with point guards. Easily the best position in basketball. You mentioned Kyrie. Now Johnny and I have spoke. He said that's your boy. I'm curious if you're ranking point guards, where does Kyrie land for you? At least within the top 5, top 10. Where but specifically, where do you put your boy Kyrie?
I'm biased. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm biased. But if I had to be like an analyst and just throw all the biasness out, I would have to say he ranks third
With
right
1
now.
and 2 being Russell and Steph.
Yes. With one, I honestly I don't think Steph. I don't want to say this about Steph Curry because he's great. I just don't think he's better than Kyrie, in my opinion. Like, I don't think he's better than Kyrie as a basketball player. Let me just say that. Maybe but I won't even say as a point guard because you see who started in the USA in the global games. Kyrie did. He started at the 1.
Right.
Steph Curry was the 2. But off the ball, if Steph Curry has to play the 2 for an entire game or a majority of the game, he seems to suffer from not knowing when to pass and when to score. Like, he ended up taking a lot of, I want to say, questionable shots in the USA games, and he shot a horrible percentage. I think around 30-something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like watching him, he felt very uncomfortable. I think, like, here at home in the States, like, he's comfortable. You know what I mean? It's his team. You know what I'm trying to say?
Easily, of
You're
course.
not around a ton. No disrespect to Klay Thompson, and those guys that go to state, they do a tremendous job. But what I mean is like that they're not
USA
superstars.
basketball.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
You're not around 11 other superstars. You don't have to defer if you don't want to. So it's an added level of comfortability being the man on a team, the man, not one of the men. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I think Kyrie is better because Kyrie's putting up the same exact numbers as before LeBron got there. Before LeBron got there, he's averaging the same amount of same. And if LeBron wasn't there this year, oh my God, I really think it could have got ugly, especially with Kyrie's confidence coming from winning the MVP, playing with 11 to 12 other superstars, and being deemed the best. So I would have to say in my mind, Kyrie's a better basketball player. But this year, we're talking about this year, I'll have to say, Steph is better. So I'll go Russell and Steph. Honestly,
now point guard. See, I get into a lot of debates, especially with Dave Giacomino about this type of stuff. You still take him over Chris Paul?
Of course. I mean, I do right now. Yes, of course. I feel like if Kyrie played with
Blake?
DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin, he would average 10 assists too. No disrespect to Chris Paul because he averages 10 assists with whoever he plays with.
On the Hornets, though.
But it's just like, for me, I look at it as he has better leadership than Kyrie, and point guard. Being a point guard, you automatically assume that role of being a leader in a lot of cases. So he has better leadership, but I look at it, he could pass the ball better. I wouldn't say just because he can. It's just that he's more of a more willing passer. He wants to set guys up first, and Kyrie's like, I'm going to take whatever you give me, and you can't guard me. I think Kyrie's so much better offensively that some people look at it as, Chris Paul is a better point guard. Kyrie's just better offensively. Right. The point guards can't guard him.
I think Kyrie's more of an attacker, though.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I think Chris Paul is more willing to defer.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Now,
without a doubt.
I want to ask this too, because you see the Heat.
That can be a problem sometimes, though. Being willing to defer.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, we see that with LeBron himself. Do you think LeBron coming there was good or bad for Kyrie?
Great for Kyrie. Great for Kyrie. What is this? His 4th year? This is his 4th year in the NBA. He's already averaged 23 points, 21 points, 21 points. We know you can score, Kyrie. It's about winning now. If LeBron wasn't on that team, then we know Kyrie would probably be averaging 25 plus this year. So it's not about that. It's about learning how to play with guys who are better than you or can help you win a championship. And I think that was great for Kyrie. All his life he's been on teams where he's been the best player. Coming into Cleveland, he was the best player. Yeah. So this is the first time he's not the best player. You know what I mean? And he needs that if you're going to win a championship. You've never been on a team where you weren't the best player. So, and LeBron James he's just a great mentor. He can tell Kyrie what it takes to get to those championships, man. I mean, LeBron James going to any team would be a huge help for any point guard.
Absolutely. Now, this is just the last question before we go. This is something that our boy Petey wanted to ask you, but I'll ask for him. You're still an Iona student, regardless of you playing on the basketball team and all your awards. Best place to eat around Iona, on or off campus?
On or off campus around Iona, and we're speaking of how far is this radius that I'm giving?
That's from pretty much anything with on the meal card. So you got
AJ's.
AJ's, Smokehouse, Gemelli's. mean, if you for some reason enjoy Spellman over those places, if Mo's chicken and rice is really doing the job for you, if you had to go to one specific place, you know, which one would it be? I have to ask.
Honestly speaking, if I had to go to one place. Man, you guys are really, really putting me in a tough spot right now.
The sports stuff's easy. Where's the best place to eat? Got him stumped.
Oh, man. I would have to say it's out of... I would have to say Alfonso's, the old blackboard, in my opinion. I love Moe's. Moe's is the best overall store. You know what I mean? It's kind of like KD being the best scorer.
Right.
And you know what I mean? And at KD being Alfonso's and Mo's being LeBron, the best overall player.
Mo is LeBron.
Mo, you're LeBron. We love you, Mo. We love you, Mo. We love you, Deli Mart. No, but definitely chicken and rice is my overall favorite dish since I've been here. The white sauce and hot sauce is amazing with the lettuce. But Alfonso's, their Alfredo is their wings, their Alfredo, their pizza, the combination of all three.
I've had the wings from there.
They are amazing. Oh my God, the Alfredo with the broccoli is crazy, man. That guy who's chefing that up back there is
knows what he's doing.
It's amazing. I will say it's a place around here in New Rochelle called Modern. Have you guys ever heard of Modern?
No.
It's by the train station, and the Alfredo there is the best Alfredo I've ever had in my life. Ever.
You need to go to Alfredo guy.
Ever. Hey, you want to know Alfredo? Talk to me, okay? Come see me. Come see me.
All right, Dave, we want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
No
we wish
problem.
you the best of luck in the MAC tournament. We'll be there. Roommate Rivalry, of course, cheering the guys on. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, man, thank you guys for having me. I had a great time. Thank you. Appreciate it.